Hi, hello. Can you hear me? Let me check. Okay, I think I'm live, but just wanted to double check that you can hear. Okay, so everybody can hear. All right. So hello everybody. How's everyone doing? Uh, yeah, 2026, right? So very happy to be here, and yeah, I want to wish you everybody before we begin this to have a great 2026. This is the first AMA of the year, right? And I prepare a presentation, unlike previous occasions where I pretty much discuss, conversate with you guys. Now I decided to do something a bit different because this year really means a lot to us, and it's a different year. It's a new year, and even in the markets and everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen and then I'll go. So it's gonna be a little bit of me explaining a couple of things that I wanted to go very much in detail, and obviously at the end a Q&A. Q&A, please write on the Telegram or Twitter, wherever you see this link, and then I'll get back. I'll get on top of all the questions that you may have. So for the time being, let me prep up my presentation. All right, one second. Okay, perfect. So I'm actually going to do a very formal conversation. It's funny. I've done so many presentations throughout these past 6 years, but I think this is the first one that I do a one for the community. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy it because I'm going to be discussing a lot of things that you actually hope that you enjoy, and then obviously that you understand where we're going. All right. So one second. Let me see. Why is it? Oh, I need to. One second. Let me accommodate one thing because if not, I'm not going to be able to read later the questions. All right, perfect. Sorry. There we go. Okay, now straight to business. Okay, so yeah, you know who we are, so that's not why is it letting me? There we go. Okay, so just wanted to provide a quick snapshot as to who we are right now and how do we introduce ourselves, because that's kind of like it doesn't matter who we were, but it doesn't matter only who we are. As of today, we have tokenized over our total tokenizable value is 450 million. So that's a very nice figure. We have crossed the 100 clients, and obviously I'll go through what it means, who they are, and whatnot. And we have just we just crossed the line of 40 employees. Right now, our whole USP, unique selling point, is that we are an end-to-end tokenization platform. So we clients use us for them to tokenize any kind of asset. So we have clients from tokenizing equity, debt, profit sharing. I did a demo, I think, like a month ago on the platform of how it looks and everything. But the most important thing is that right now we're one of the most solid, best players out there in that tokenization vertical. Our numbers validated, they're trackable, they're real. We're not throwing any kind of numbers just for the FOMO. We're actually a business. So that's why we're now going to step up our way of introducing ourselves and doing our presentations, because we have just stepped up the game a lot, and you'll understand why. We have a various range of strategic partners. We have done a lot of business with them, and we're very happy to be back, or walk along various of them. Some of them figures you see there on the logos. But the most important thing is for you to understand how we got here, because that will explain our next steps. Because when you create a business, you don't go from 100 to 1,000. You go from 0 to 10, 10 to 50, 50 to 100, because that's how you scale a company, not by just stupidly thinking that you're hitting somewhere. You have to validate everything you do. So you do that by market validation, approach, understanding who your clients are, because even though we do have a token, we're a profitable business. We generate revenue every single now. Potentially, we're going to start revenue every single day, but for the time being, at least every single week, we grow month to month, and that is a business. We're not a crypto company, and that's the most important thing that I like to showcase about Bricken. That even though we use the technology for the sake of how we use and embedded everything on the rails for tokenizing, we're not a blockchain company. We are a company growing as on a day-to-day basis, actually. So on 2020, which I skipped here, 2020 was the thinking year. So we started in July to really create Bricken, a group of founders. But those months were just about thinking how we want to approach. We wanted to do a crowdfunding platform, and then we pivoted into what we have right now in 2021. Most important thing is that we received some money from selling equity on our pre-seed that allow us to maintain. Then we started our journey with the ICO that many of you right here are on the AMI because you validated us by purchasing some of our BKN tokens during our ICO 2021. We even received some money from the Spanish government, so that's just very peculiar. We were the first company in Spain, and I'm not sure if not in Europe, to receive a grant from the government to push the technology ourselves. So we were the third highest ranking node back then from what they call the Spanish Neotech subsidy. And that same year, we went and talked to the Spanish regulators as to our approach. Because in 2021, we were the second generation of tokenization platforms. There were some in 2018, 2017, 2018, then the 2020, 2021, where we are, and then we can go for 2024, 2025. So we're like the second generation of approach. But our singularity was that we wanted to do something completely different from what was there in the market. We wanted to do it on the basis that we wanted to provide that technology fully embedded to third parties so they can issue their own securities in their own manner and provide their own liquidity ways. So that was kind of like breaking the head of many regulators in the sense that they didn't know how to onboard us because for many of the things they thought that we needed a license and some specific legality. But luckily, one of our biggest points of sell, let's say, or strength, sorry, one of our biggest points of strength is the legality inside. We really have a great handle on how to maneuver the legality of issuing securities in different markets and jurisdictions. So we went once we had money, we also went to the regulator to validate our business. And of course, we got green lighted. They said that what we do was completely by the books, not saying that they like it, but they understand that if it's not illegal, then it's doable, correct? That's 2021. We began fully Brickken. 2022, we closed our round, and then bear markets hit. But instead of us going and doing nothing, we used the money to build a team. We started hiring. We started understanding how to create the best platform in the market. We did a lot of studying, and basically 2022 was a year of pure building. So what the markets in 2022 with the whole crashes of Celsius, FTX, Three Arrows, whatever, we went to the mines and when we started just digging as to how can we create something that can really transcendent because what we wrote in the white paper, you have to remember whoever read our white paper, there was no chat GPT back then. We was written at the end of well let's say early 2021. It was around 40 pages long. There was no chat GPT, it was pure know-how. And I remember that white paper was even used in some colleges because they started sending us information or interviews as to why we thought about that. So I'm telling you that the know-how in Britain has always been excellent, A plus. So with that know-how, that legal ground, and that money, we were able to create Bricken as it is today, our first version of the application that it has evolved through time. So 2022 was all about building. And we succeeded. What we said in the white paper that was going to happen, we actually built it. So we actually comply with everything that was established in such white paper. And I gotta say, that's a powerful statement because whatever we say, we always accomplish. We never fall short. We never say something just for the sake of saying. Whatever is said or statement is done public, we have to commit to it because you establish yourself. It's your obligation to be fully transparent, but also trustful. So I'm very happy that everything that was said in the white paper, whoever wants to read it, I think is going to give you a bigger glance as to how we evolved from that vision early 2021 to where we take us now, which is 2026. Now, furthermore, 2023, we started generating, we launched our MVP. I think we went live, oh, I have it there, March. We launched with our first client, validating the technology, obviously trying to understand where do we need to debug. The first statements was, obviously, you have to do the journey of validating your technology, your product, your user experience, and whatnot. And through there, as we had a live product, we entered the Chainlink build program. We're partners with them in many things. They have backed us across the years, so we're very happy for that relationship that we did through the build. We were one of the first build programs, and now we're one of the senior leaders of the build program. And that happened in April. July happened. We were still in the bear market. We launched our token. Obviously, not the best market or conditions, but we had to do what we had to do. So we launched, and here we are still, right? The token is live, and then we'll talk about the crypto PK and whatnot. We started also accelerating some partnership. We launched with Keyrock, one of the best market makers out there. They're great partners of us. They're trying to understand how securities are going to evolve for the secondary perspective in the future. We have a lot of nice conversations. And we also tokenized one of the biggest auditors, great partner of us, Hacken. It was the first glance, it was the first time that a utility token transformed into equity. I specifically put those clients because one of us, complete respect to the Hacken team. Second, they created something through our technology that is gonna us that we're gonna do in 2026, the utility to equity. So 2023 was about now that you have the client. So 2020, let's say vision. 2021, now you get to build alongside 2021, uh, money, know-how, validation, regulation. 2022, building the platform. 2023, you launch and you start understanding where is your market. You start defining the parameters of the market that you're going to be attacking and why. So you start testing marketing strategy, business model, geographies. 2023 was all about testing where was the the business for Brickken. That takes us to 2024. We started doing a lot more. We entered the European sandbox. We did some great partners. We tokenized a fund. We started tokenizing with some heavy players like Republic. Different ecosystems started adopting us, like Avalanche. We joined PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the big four. Whoever's in the business world understands the big four is one of the biggest auditors out there. We have great partners with them. We only had it with UK. Now we also have it with some partners up there in Hong Kong and Singapore. So we're adopting now. We're growing inside that ecosystem as well. And basically, that also ended up us becoming one of the most solid players from a legal perspective, from a product and position. And BNB chain, I would say, I don't know if it's now the second biggest chain out there, named us an official tokenization provider, and that opened a whole new venue. So we went for 2024 to really kind of like start growing in the ecosystem, generating further clients, solidifying with great partners. And the most important thing that I want to establish here is that everything that I'm saying is completely verifiable. I'm not just throwing names, kind of, oh, we did a partner. No, this is conditions that of people that we speak with, and we have groups, and we have conversations, and we have meetings, and that's just the point of the iceberg. Because that takes us to 2025. 2025, due to the conditions of who we were able to raise the first tranche of our seed. We raised 2.5 at the valuation of 20, so that puts us post money 22.5. And we were raising with equity, so we had a BKM, but our equity, because we were a business who was doing business, growing clients, partners, positioning, our equity started to grow, right? Because there was a value on the business that we were generating. BKM had value. On 2024, we hit 138 all-time high. We started going around 50, 60 cents. Then we went down. So the BKM, the utility ecosystem had value, but the equity started generating value. Because you can have both, and maybe one has value, but the other has nothing. But in our case, both have. And that became very attractive for different businesses. We closed 2.5 million. Actually, in Spain, that was one, I would say, all time, kind of like maybe top 50 of races of the valuation and the money on the seed round. So we in the European side and the in Spain, it was quite good actually, super good. Um, May we reach 50 clients. So we started accelerating the way that we understand the business. I'm going to talk a little bit about the team because it's important for you to understand who's behind the scenes, not just the people that are publicly speaking or appearing, but there's a whole team of 40 people. And I really want to do a little bit of talk about there. Thanks to the evolution of our business model and understanding of the ecosystem of tokenization, we reached the milestone of 50 clients. And we started onboarding on different ecosystems. Mantra, we deployed the Atom Frontier. We have a nice kickoff coming up. Then obviously the know-how got embedded into standard. Dario Lobuglio, our co-founder, authored the EIP 7943, which now it's called the URWA. It's about to become an ERC in the coming days, so it's an official standard that was created through the Brickken know-how, and also, gotta say, aided by various players of the ecosystem. There's a lot of good players out there, a lot of respectful tokenization platforms. Um, Gonna just name a few. I think it's obviously the people from from DigiShares helped us. Starbucks pushed us. There was a lot of out there tokenization players as ourselves that we can combine. We can consider competitors, but in this case, we join forces for to also create something good for the ecosystem, something that other companies could use and start onboarding more assets. Because the more assets get onboarded into the ecosystem as a whole, every company will grow. So there's I just name a few, but there's Forte, Haken, there's now more. Even Casper Network started adopting it. So now the ERC started getting some adoption. But the most important thing is the pushing force behind us. That was us because we do believe that the world is going to get tokenized, capital markets are going to evolve, financial markets are going to be simpler. So we needed some bail. Not going to talk about all the standards. There's all the standards out there, but we wanted to embed all our know-how up to that point into such standard. So we developed that. Thank you, Dario, for that. And basically, that's positioned us not just as a tokenization platform, not just as a brand, but as thought leaders. And that's the most important thing that we can now establish certain things that can move markets. And the standard is the best way for us to showcase that some things that we say now have transcended into the market or into the whole world of the tokenization or of the RWAs. October, we got recognized as one of the fastest growing startups, not as crypto, startups, business. We were recognized, I think, position 122 on Sifted of them studying all the market in Europe. We were in the top 50, top 250 of the fastest growing startups. So that means they can tell you that we started doing a lot of business, a lot of generating revenue, generating clients, generating partners, generating position, solidifying ourselves into these verticals, and that got recognized. Sifted it's backed by the Financial Times. It's one of the legs. So I'm gonna say it's not just some random newspaper out there pushing some award for the sake of it. It's actually audited numbers that you have to provide for them to understand that you are who they say they are. And again, just trying to establish it, but everything that we say in this company is a fact. I'm not just throwing numbers that I'm going to tokenize billions on Mars for the sake of you believing that show. We prove everything. We always put ourselves in the position that everything that we say has to be super trustworthy. Now, uh, again, we grow. We enter the XDC network. We have a couple of POCs coming up. Now, again, people loving our technology. And December, we ended up having a TVL of 41 million. All right. Just a quick glance of what we did last year. So we started scaling. We reached 100 plus clients. We embedded ourselves into other blockchain ecosystems. And that's super crucial because there's a lot of blockchains now that you don't see, but you're going to start seeing it soon because we're going to start announcing that they are using our application for onboarding our WAs into their blockchain ecosystem. So we are deploying our full white label. I'll talk about the white label in a little bit, but this is crucial. Blockchains are using Brickken infrastructure to onboard tokenization into their own blockchains because we generate TVL. So the TVL this year is going to probably boom because we have different blockchain networks that we're using as distribution of our technology. So when they capture a lead that wants to, I don't know, onboard gold or onboard real estate, they send it to us. So right now, I think we're already in four blockchains. So BNB, Mantra, SDC. I know I'm missing something, and I'm sorry if such person in this end. The important thing is that in the coming weeks, we're going to see a lot more because we're going to start accelerating us, Brickken becoming the official tokenization provider in different chains. And the thing is, they absolutely love the platform that we have. So imagine that how many players there could be. Obviously, RWA is growing as a vertical, tokenization platforms are growing as we speak. But yet, when we go to the blockchain, they're like, no, no, we need you guys because this is how tokenization looks. So we're becoming the standard as to how tokenization should look, or how it is on the journey, the functions. We fulfill the end to end, and we're growing on top of that. So it's not what I'm saying now; it's even what the market thinks of us. If somebody puts their name behind us, that's a big validation, and it's not just a tweet saying we're partners. It's something way more transcendental when they name us an official tokenization provider. So a little bit of a glance on 2025, and that leaves us to January 2026, where we are first days of the journey, first days of the week. Just a little bit, yeah, I closed the Telegram, completely transparent with you. We thought, the co-founders, managers, we closed the company from the 1st to the 7th. That's why the Telegram tweet went out. We just wanted to enter fully because previously we were working very hard for me to establish the next couple of things that are done or are soon to be announced. And we enter the year even bigger than 2025. So we already have, well, yeah, today we already signed 2 clients. So we entered it more than 100. Today we already closing clients. First day that we got back together into business. So we already accelerating. We onboarded 4 new members into the team. Right now, four new members got hired, so that puts us at 41. So even the team is scaled because we need more firepower. We're running short on length, and we need to have more and more. So we decided to go higher, and we're going to open new spots very soon. And now, where does it take us? So I'm just gonna say like 2020 vision, 2021 know-how, 2022 building, 2023 validation, 2024 growth, 2025 scale, 2026 it's where we gonna go and go for the market. That's it. There's nothing else. We have all the needed tools, the product team, the know-how, the position, the partners for us to scale that and start capturing way more. And we're going to start accelerating by spending more on marketing and spending more on sales, spending more on generating more clients, on TBLs, partners. Because now we have the platform, the know-how, and all these videos for everybody to understand when they go check into the market what it is and they stumble upon us, they never leave us. They're like, okay, this is it. This is the real deal. So this year, we're gonna go and step up on some things on the licensing compliance side of things. We're gonna go get a custody license in Europe and a brokerage, so we can start not just generating or the clients generating, we can start controlling assets, treasuries. We're gonna start onboarding a lot of products around that, and also us distributing. So one of the things that the community knows, or whoever is listening to this, we don't announce the distributions or of our clients because we can't legally. We're not, because we are software. But now through us becoming a broker, we can intermediate in operations. So we're going to start bringing and announcing us Brickken more potential leads. All right. So clients are going to be more public on our once we get the license. And we're going to do the same in the UAE. So parallelly, we're going to go and position or cement ourselves in Europe, uh, software custody brokerage, and UAE software broker custody brokerage. All right. So that's how we're going to start multiplying ourselves. So that means Brickken itself is about to become a multinational. We're gonna operate from Europe headquarters, Dubai, and we're gonna open a new office. We're already gonna do that probably, yeah, super soon. We're already on the way, and those 2 hubs are gonna be how we expand. So obviously, whenever you think about Brickken, I would like you guys to understand the network effect, right? So we go and like a virus, we just spread ourselves because we already have everything to do. And yeah, so kind of like the focus on 2026 is to grow not just product sales and everything, but regulatory wise, and there's a lot of other things coming behind that. So launches that are going to happen, uh, yeah, don't worry about BKN2. We just have to do an upgrade on the contract because we're integrating CCIP through our technology. So the BKN contract that we have is outdated. We don't know yet how that's going to affect, but there's no new reissuance. There's no weird things around it. The BKN is still the same, but we're going to launch it to something that it's going to be better. There's not going to be breaches. Everything is going to be the same contract in all the chains, so we can create pools in other ones. I want to create myself a pool in another and use another like Aerodrome. But right now, I will have to uh, do a lot of weird things that are not that are old school. So we're gonna do BKN2, an upgrade on that contract because our infrastructure also needs it, our product needs it. Since we're integrating CCIP from Chainlink to do the cross-chain interoperability, so we also have to upgrade our contract. But it's a great move. So you guys are gonna also get on top of the BKN2. Technology grows. Our contract was made in what was it, 2021? I think we got it audited. And 5 years later, well, Ethereum is definitely not the same. Smart contracts are not the same, and nothing is pretty much the same. So we have to update that. As it says, there's going to be an institutional focus on the platform. We already deploying this cool one, a lot of models that I think is going to capture value for the company and for the BKN because we already showing some announce. When we talk about phase two, was the build up, right? Kind of like behind scenes, we were doing all of this preparatory work for us to start launching products in Q1 and no later than Q2. Some things just have to go with the natural flow of things. So this is kind of like phase two was all stopped with the, let's say, um, crypto look and more the institutional look. Because now we're talking with heavy players out there who are looking into our tokenization platform for to be embedded into their own business. So we had to rebrand ourselves. That's why we had the new website, and we're doing a lot of things as to how we want to position ourselves. Because now, yeah, the suit of people are coming, and those have a different manner as to how they understand business. So we're gonna get licenses. Sorry, I need a glass of water. I haven't spoken so much in so long. um, Another thing that we're gonna do is, yeah, one second. Yeah, I was truly on vacations. I was speaking to nobody. That was beautiful, by the way. Um, Another thing, we're gonna get some security certificates, such as the ISO 2701, the SOC 2. Whoever wants to use it, just shoot the chat GPT, which is kind of like we understand the value that all the assets that we're gonna be handling for certain players. So they want to look for the most robust technology. So we have to get audited again and again, and then just trying to prove ourselves that in the tokenization market with the most solid player. That's the only thing that we have to prove. And all of that, we're preparing ourselves for our Series A, which is gonna be one of the things that, wait, I think I missed something. Yeah, okay. So prepare for Series A. Now, don't want to say too much because it was supposed to be announced quite soon, but I'm just gonna repeat something. On January, when I go and then whoever wants to go back and review it, I said like we closed our first trench of our seed round. I want to establish something there. We broke our equity seed round in two trenches. If we close one in January and we're in January, just gonna give that hint. I'm gonna say more, but you know what I'm trying to say here. I just don't want to say more because I'm not allowed to until the news comes out officially. But I did this AMA with you guys. You're the community. You're important. So basically, what I'm saying is that Brickken in 2026, it's if we enter big here in that January and you see that number in 2026, we enter bigger. All right. Now that we close that part, the second trench, what we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare for the Series A, which is kind of like the big ground. We're gonna use the current treasuries right now that we have for all the licenses to grow the business. We're gonna talk about the BKN as well, obviously. and basically the prepare ourselves. In the Series A, I won't talk about Q3 and Q4. This AMA can be seen by competitors, and I don't want to explain all my roadmap for the no need. They just have to figure out what we're doing, and that's fine. But the most important for me to start with you is that in when we prepare the Series A, we're gonna do what we did with hacking. And I've been saying this a lot now, but now it's official. The numbers are gonna come up probably in the next 6 months as to how many VKNs you need to be able to own equity of Bricken. And now here is the video that you see the growth. So the company is growing. The token, we need to grow it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going to depreciate the token. Thanks to the token, thanks to the community, we're here who we are. We have always been respectful of that. Going to talk a lot more now about the BKN. We need to talk about the business first, but this is the time where whoever owns a certain amount of BKN, if they want, they can transfer that to value and own part of the business and own equity, ownership, and whatnot. So it's a big move for us. Hopefully, a lot of people enter, but obviously, in that Series A, there's gonna be new institutionals and new VCs because a lot of people want to invest in Bricken. So we have to open also for the institutional players, but for their community, without a doubt, they're gonna be the only ones that can enter via BKN. The rest of the big players, VCs or companies that want to invest in Bricken, they have to invest via money, so stables or fiat, but the BKN holders through the BKN can gain access to the full ownership of Bricken. All right. So Q3, Q4, not gonna say too much around that. The most important thing is now Bricken itself. Oh, I missed here. Sorry, I uploaded wrong. Okay, so here should have been blue where we are. So we have the two hubs. We're gonna attack Europe from Spain. We're gonna attack all the MENA region through Dubai. Our growth in the next few times is going to be also putting a hub ourselves around the areas of Southeast Asia and United States because we're going to do the same thing that we were doing here. Software custody broker. So that's how we're going to start growing by opening representation in a specific size of the world. So running a multinational with different companies across the globe that can tokenize and provide services to different regions. All right. So this year we validate ourselves through Europe and through the EU, the UAE, sorry, and we start testing in the back how to penetrate Southeast Asia and the big meta, United States. All right. So this is kind of like how we look. So I'm not gonna say too much there, but now the growth is not just from here, but the growth is also positioning a team, allocating resources for us to be able to grow through there and start obtaining more clients, partners, TBL, and whatnot. So we have nothing but a goal of reaching 250. Yeah, if I want, obviously I will say more. Gonna say we definitely gonna do no less than 250 clients, no less than 100 TBL. That's just being very conservative. And the whole thing that we want to do is the business has to become a unicorn, and the token itself. We have two assets. Two assets have to reach that. No matter what we do, the two are KPIs or metrics of valuation of Birkin. So we have to do that. Okay. So Bricken itself a unicorn, and the BKN, we need to grow that market cap. Before I go into, I'm gonna keep explaining a little bit, and then I'm gonna go again on the BKN. I have a slide here. All right. So a lot of you don't understand, don't see on a day to day what is Bricken. So wanted to put here how the department is built up. So we have 16 people on tech, one people managing the whole staff, so people. 7 persons in marketing, 3 in finance, 8 sales, 3 legal, 4 operations. I'm on operations. Okay, so we're most, I think 35 of the teams are in Barcelona. We have our office. The rest of 6 pending are on remote. And basically, that's what you don't see on a day to day, but every day, people go to work, normal timing. They do the tasks, they do the sprints. Um, every department has its manager, so we are well established branded company. Like a lot of people, I would love for you to, maybe in this year we're gonna do more open mics inside the office because it's important for you to see all the amount of work that is done. I mean, 41 employees in a company, it's already a nice size company, right? And then what if we do business and whatnot, and we're not just doing weird things, actually. I mean, we're generating clients, we're generating exposure, we're generating all of these things. 41 is a lot. All right. So I really want you to value that all of these persons work around the clock. Um, some of them get pushed a little bit too much because they also love it, but they also understand the amount of pressure being in the crypto side of things, the boss, but also in the startup. So we're kind of like complete weird company because startups are hard, crypto is hard. So we're a startup in crypto trying to do revenue. That's insanely hard. So yeah, just wanted to showcase, and here I thank my whole team because if it's not for them, we wouldn't be here. Every single person here is amazing. They share a lot of know-how. We grow together and we conquer together. So this is kind of like me saying thank you to the team in public because I'm just the yeah okay I could be the CEO running and the voice, but behind the back, if there was no background, I could just be some random guys speaking and doing nothing. But thanks to them, we have what we have today. So maybe some days it's nice for them to get acknowledged. So this is the time. And yeah, 41 persons. The idea is most likely that we're gonna finish the year with 50. We're about to go again on the hiring spree. We're gonna do it slowly to different departments when they because we know where we need more power, and basically that's what we have. I didn't put the names of the faces because of GDPR. I don't know if I could. I asked legal and then said, "Oh, you have to ask everybody." But I would have loved to actually put everyone. But hey, you can add the people. Go on LinkedIn. You can see the profile. Okay, so the product really quickly. Now we have the ability to really provide what our product to any kind of business model, jurisdiction, company size, and any kind of tokenization they want. We have the web app version, who I saw the platform, the white label, what blockchains are using or people reselling. This is crucial. There's going to be a lot of startups coming up that are using our tech. So imagine a new Brickken, somebody coming into RWA, and in fact, they're using our whole infrastructure because people are stopping to build because they understand that the USP that they have is not necessarily the technology. So they're starting to focus on the asset itself. So those are coming to us and say like, hey, I want to enter the tokenization field. I want to start selling tokenization services. I don't want to focus on the technology. I want to focus on the client or the asset. So we started to sell white label. Just last month, I think we closed 3 or 4 white labels. So we're starting to accelerate kind of like that. And that's beautiful. It's distribution, it's network. So not only blockchains are hiring our white labels, companies are doing, and startups. So there's going to be a lot of people using our infrastructure for them to deploy tokenization services. And that's full trust and responsibility on our end. We have to always be providing a top-notch service. An API, which is in case some application already is built and they just want to shoot a word against some smart contracts or functions that we have, we connect API. The most important thing is we are a very solid business in the sense that we can provide our service to any kind of company right now. And we're going to solidify these things. And in the back, we're going to provide the custody services, the brokerage services, and start growing and scaling these operations. All right. So yeah, we managed to make this that any company that comes here, we are good to go. Okay, so just a product update, which some of the things go into the big end, which has to do with the custody. We're going to start providing custody of digital assets and stable coins to our clients quite soon. Quite soon, I say, it depends on the regulators. If they, as soon as they provide us with the licenses and whatever, because we can start providing yielding of stable coins. And this is going to be also one of the movements on the big end. We're going to open a vault for our community so they can yield what do we get now? I guess approximately about 10%. So we're going to open a vault for our BKN holders so they can start yielding on stable coins in this year. So if you don't want to generate in BKN, you block your BKN, but you can deposit your stable coins with us, and I will give you 10% on top. So it's a regulated product, first of all. There's no weird pyramid scheme or whatnot. This is pure technology of getting into specific zones of the LP provision of stablecoins against stablecoins parities and whatnot. So Obviously, that's what we want to offer to our community, our own expertise. We generate that APY for yourselves. We already tested with a couple of clients, and we want to scale that operation to perform it to all our clients and also to our community. So it's a nice staking because it's not even staking. You can take out your money whenever you want. I don't know. I don't hold it. But either way, just a glance because we have a lot more, but no need. Okay, so the VKN. Now I would like to talk about this. So we are upgrading for us to be able to deploy it in the new infrastructure. We're deploying our version 3 of our whole technology. So the current VKN contract got updated because we're incorporating CCIP and our current VKN doesn't grow there. So we have to do that. But yeah, there's no new tokenomics, nothing. It's just an evolution of the smart contract. The staking, yes, we just reduced it to 5% from 11. I know it's not that satisfactory news, but in the end, two things. We were going to cancel by default, but we decided to give it a couple of more months or years. We don't know, 5%. Inflation was getting too high at 15%. It was never supposed to happen. That came actually from our liquidity VKNs that we have for certain pools and whatnot, but now we have to be responsible about it and we have to reduce that 5%. So not the greatest news for you team, I understand. But on the other thing is that, well, hopefully you understand the value of this presentation and understand the value of Brickken and understand where we're going. So became two launches, we have new pools, added liquidity on stables and whatnot, all right? And the most important thing, and so I'm gonna make a confession, but I'm not gonna prove it for certain reasons of security as well. During the past year, and we have been rebuying BKNs, but not how you think of going into the market to pump. We have been putting a lot of supports. And we spent, I think, already above 500,000 on the BKN. So whenever people say like, "Oh, you guys don't care," yeah, we keep supporting. So the market itself, sometimes buying and selling is not equivalent, especially the last couple of months. So we were putting support layers for the weekend not to die drastically. So yeah, a lot of people thought about rebuy. I thought about saying this because now people are gonna say, "Oh, you guys should rebuy." No, I'm never gonna say when rebuy or where do we put our support or whatnot. But this is me publicly speaking that we do care. We're spending money that was given through us via an equity and we are spending on the weekend because both assets for us are equivalent. They're the same as important, and we need both to grow parallelly, which is kind of like our biggest task this year. We need to grow both together because now we have a company value at X amount. Not gonna disclose the current valuation. Soon you will disclose it, and then the market cap of the BKN below. Even the TBL is growing, so we need to push the BKN value up just because it's fair. I don't understand crypto markets that much. It's pure sentiment. There's a lot of crap out there, but they get pumped for some reason, and it's just pure sentiment. But on our end, we keep doing what we're doing. So I have the assurance that this company is not gonna die. A lot of companies are dying now, but thanks to the 1010 liquidity event that happened, and you're gonna start seeing a lot of defaults now. A lot of competitors of us are suffering because they don't understand the market. Newcomers, tokenization, RWA, it's not building something that it's simple. There's financial, there's legality, there's jurisdictions, the regulators, there's a lot of different things, components. It's super hard to be here. And we've been building for 6 years. And not only that, we're growing and we're getting validated and raising money. So I just want to be here super clear that for us, the BKN has to grow with us because that's what it works. And that is why I'm also opening the door for the equity, whoever wants it. But the most important thing is that yes, the company has been supporting the BKN structure the last couple of months, and we will do it again. It was not a mistake. The liquidity sometimes gets dried out, and then we put more. And this is kind of like the effect of the markets because we're there. All right. So the big one, listings. Yeah, I know it has been always kind of like the problem. I explained a lot of times of how it moves the liquidity fragmentation. I'm gonna stay with it. Um, I'm gonna be even more transcendental. If we would have used part of the money for one listing, let's say 500K for a listing, our token would have suffered 3 times because it was not a problem of Bricken. It's a problem of how the market right now is. A lot of money is more going into different directions. You know, the minerals, gold, silver, all-time highs, stock market all-time high, predictions market swallowing a lot of liquidity. So you need to understand the macro perspective to understand if crypto retail is not. We got a bounce on trading volumes on listings just a couple of days ago, but we were very low. So the listings, it's not that we don't want. It's just that it has to be beneficial because there's just theory wise. I mean, if you have 5 glasses of water and you put all the glasses of water in one, you can control the thirst. But if you put a little bit everywhere, then the chances are everybody's going to be thirsty. I mean, in the end, you have to concentrate liquidity when there's no new rain. So if there's no rain, you don't go and blast off glasses just because you wish that rain is going to appear. If it doesn't rain, it doesn't rain. And unfortunately, retail right now, it's there. Understanding if it happens, if liquidity happens, and there's a bounce in the market, we can think about the listing. And just to be super transparent, phase two, we were going to list. Actually, in October, there was the rebound on the 24 cents. I thought we were going to break out through. The breakout of the 24 cents happened on the 8th of October. On the 10th of October, the liquidation event happened, and that crushed our whole roadmap because on the weekend, we were going to list. I have to be transparent with you. I don't mind about that. And it's not that we don't. So what did we do? Instead of us pushing into a new listing for the sake of, oh, list, we started supporting. And that's why you saw a lot of when the market was bleeding heavily, we were there. And in our market, if you see our vertical, like I showcased, we're doing very good, very, very good. RWA was heavy hit. And now you may understand a little bit the support that we built alongside the market was allowing us not to die. And those who are traders now, a lot of clicks will happen. I have no doubt about it. Okay. So listings, yeah, and this is very funny because I 2020 guys, that's 6 years. Like I I've never worked elsewhere as long as I've been working in Bricken, myself at least. All right. I don't know about micro founders, but I believe some of them. So the biggest the company that I have worked the most years wide is Brickken, right? And maybe some of my fellow colleagues or employees can say the same thing. What I'm trying to say here is, you guys think I don't want to list, but in reality, I don't want nothing else than to make this big. And it's not even about money. It's about we had a vision. Our white paper, when I remember writing it with everybody in the company, kind of like just one Google Doc, sharing knowledge and then understanding how we're gonna approach everything. That was a magical moment that I still remember because we believed in something, right? I mean, I don't believe in money. I believe in this. This is my day to day. So I do want everybody to succeed. I want you all guys to make profit. I want nobody to suffer because I believe in that. So I do want a list. I have nothing against that. It's just that I'm taking the decision that matters. It's a hard decision. I get a lot of hate or thought or comments, but in the end, it is what it is. Even if you do good, you still get those. If you do bad, maybe you sometimes get good comments. The world is weird, but I make the decisions that matter and I go to sleep. And is it light? No, of course not. It's heavy. It's every decision that we make, not only me, every post done by my marketing team on Twitter, or every single comment, every deploy on tech, every contract signed by every contract sent by legal, every conversation by sales. All of these things matter and they're heavy. I mean, this is what we get paid to do for the Brickken, and Brickken is a source of its own. It's an entity. We don't own it. Shareholders are behind, but it's an entity. We have to work for the entity. So I would really want you to give us a little bit of breathe here on the listings. Now you understand we definitely have treasuries. I already hinted at something, so we definitely have money. So one thing that we don't do is waste stupid money and waste it stupidly. You know what happens if we have no money? VCs don't like us, the clients get nervous, company shuts down. Who's gonna run the VPN? Are you gonna do a CTO? No. So you have to trust that we want the best one. My whole situation of here was to transfer to all of you publicly that the only thing we want is the best for Bricken, and we run on a plan, and we sit down and we argue on a day-to-day what is the next big step for us to conquer. And we have committed ourselves that this year we're gonna go for everything. We're gonna double down on ourselves, the product, the community, the VKN, the equity, opening new companies, getting more money, amassing, getting everything in order for us to accomplish what we envisioned in 2021, which was what started as a tokenization platform. Now we want to be the best and we're going to achieve that. There's nothing else. So I want you to be part of the journey and seeing us become the best. That's all I'm requesting. And then everything will come into peace. I have no doubt about it. With the markets are maturing, new people are entering with different senses. So I'm hoping that at some sense we're gonna be equivalent in equity, in TBL, and in BKN holding. But I know the BKN is not doing as it is. But sometimes I don't sleep. I can already tell you that. We all live stressful, not just you, but do know that. So me here personally as a human being, I'm telling you that we are here and we're not going anywhere. On the contrary, now it's time to really push this to the next boundary. And obviously, thank you all of you because if there was no backing and comments and community and nice messages and push from many of you or all of you, then we also would have been a different company. It's a weird company to have a startup in the crypto world, but here we are. And yeah, 6 years and we're still chanting. So expect us for another 6 or 20 years because we're not going anywhere. So on that side of things, want to talk now about my commitment in public, screenshot it. Nothing less than this, publicly speaking. I know this is a complete suicide from a CEO to establish these things in public. But then again, we've been always a public company. So the only goal that we have now is to become a unicorn. We're well positioned through it. We're doing everything that we can. We believe, and people are starting to believe it. So if the market, you know that what they say, no matter what you think you are, it only matters what they say about you. So I'm gonna say that. We're definitely having, yeah, and then anybody can challenge. I have no doubts we have the best tokenization platform. I might bias, yeah, but I do a lot of research and I've tested a lot of things, watch demos, watch everything, talk with clients, talk with partners. I'm solidifying that we do have the best tokenization platform out there. And we're also now defining how that looks, thanks to the standard, thanks to some things that are coming. And I'm not gonna unveil Q3, Q4 kind of secret. And yeah, so this is who we are. And now we jump into the Q&A. But before we go there, again, I would like to thank everybody. Brickken, our PCs, our partners, clients, partners, and obviously the community. We are all Brick. All right. Whew. I have not talked in a long time, so I have now a little bit of sore throat. Um, all right. So yeah, I don't know if I have any questions, but if not, feel free to just start shooting Telegram after this AMA. Let me check if there's any questions. Stefan, can you trigger if there's any questions or is everything good? All right, so we didn't got any Q&A. The Telegram chat is open again. We start the new year fresh. Everybody on board. And let's go. So again, thank you very much to everybody. If you want to shoot any questions, feel free to shoot it via tweet. Telegram, you have my commitment that in the next days, I'll be personally answering all of the questions as I always have. But now, since nobody threw a Q&A, I was hoping a little bit of conversation here, but didn't happen. And I guess enjoy 2026 and let's go kick some ass. Thank you very much.